So hello everyone, welcome to this another video of Scale Up India. I'm Abhishek Verma and you are watching the Hibernate series. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the most important many-to-many mapping in the Hibernate. And believe me, this is one of the most difficult part in the Hibernate series. Yeah, but we'll try to make it simple with the help of demo. Yeah, so parallelly I'll keep on explaining each and every part to you. And because of this, I'm pretty sure the video is going to be little bit long. Now, while I can't help with this, but what I can do is that I can tell you in advance that in this video we are going to have three parts. Part number one, I'm going to explain you the topic of the mapping with the help of a presentation. So the presentation is just going to be of 5 to 6 slides only, not big enough. Now in part 2, we are going to discuss about the annotations which is required for many-to-many mapping and the changes in the service and the repository layer. And in the part 3, we are going to execute the code and see all the operations. Also, the part 3 is going to be very important because we will see that what are the mistakes which we have done in part 2 and how we can rectify those mistakes in our part 3. It is something like an enhancement. Now you may say that okay, then why don't you directly code the right thing in the first part itself or in the second part itself? So the reason is because I just want to show you what kind of mistakes which we normally do. Yeah, because it may not happen that you directly going to code it from the scratch. Maybe the thing is already running and what you can do is you can enhance your code in many-to-many mapping. Yeah. So without wasting any time, let's get started. And before this, I just want to showcase you this part that currently we are having 949 subscribers. So we are just 51 subscribers away from a goal of 1000 subscribers. So I hope you are going to help me with this. And parallelly, I have also released this video on can DSA alone help in getting the IT job. So I hope you have watched this. Just tell me in the comments whether you liked it or not and what are your views on this. So let's start. So we'll directly go to our presentation deck now. So now we have started the part 1 of our video, and here as you can see that I'm not directly jumping to many mapping. I'm trying to start with the help of one-to-one mapping, and don't worry, only 6 small slides are there. So as you can see that in one-to-one mapping, initially we have a boy and here we have a girl and we are having 2 pets here. So one-to-one mapping is going to be simple enough, and here you can see the boy is going to have a dog as a pet and the girl is going to have a cat as a pet. So from the owner side, that is this person, if you see, it is going to be one-to-one mapping, and from the pet side also, if you see, it is just going to be a one-to-one mapping. And it is your choice which part you want to or which side you want to make as the owning entity. Now in our Pakistan scenario, always the owner is going to be the owning entity. Now in terms of table, if we see, so our tables are going to look something like this. I guess you have already seen this thing in detail in a one-to-one mapping video. If not, then here I will be providing the link of the video on the top. So first of all, you can go there and you can watch it in detail, and later on you can come to this video again. So here you can see in the owner table, which is the owning table, we have all the data. In the pet table, which is known owning table, we have again all the data related to pet. Now I want to make a relation between these two. So for this, it is our choice. Whichever side we wish, we can provide the data. Since owner is the owning table, so I will be providing the pet ID here only. So here I will create a column like pet_id and I will be providing the pet IDs. So now it is very clear that owner with ID 1 is having the pet with ID 1. Owner with ID 2 is having the pet with ID 2. So I hope that was simple enough. Now let's move for the next part. So in the next part, here we are having 2 more pets, and this time we are going to see one-to-many or many-to-one mapping. So now the boy says that okay, I wish to go for one more pet, and here this is the fish. Now you may say that it is not looking like a fish, instead it is going to be look like a big whale or a shark, but yeah, this is what I got in the form of image. And the girl says that I wish to have the parrot as the pet. So now from the owner side, if you see, so we see one owner is having 2 pets, or it can be any number of pets. Just for the video I'm taking 2 pets here. So from this side, that is the owner side, it is one-to-many mapping. One owner, multiple pets. and from the pet side it is many to one mapping. So multiple pets with the same owner. Now one thing to be noted here is that in one to many or many to one mapping, we are not saying that always one owner should have multiple pets. It is just a choice. So in our specific video of one to many and many to one mapping, we have also shown that one owner can have a single pet also. Yeah. So still you can keep the data in the same table, and for that you can again check the video. I will be providing the link on the top here. So first of all you can watch that if you haven't watched, and then again you can come back here. Now let's see the same in the form of the table. So this time now you will say that if the owner is having two pets, so if I will again add the pet ID on the owner table only, so I need to write something like 1,3 or something. Yeah, and in the table we should not write with the help of a comma. So this time in the pet table I will be adding the owner ID. So although this is the known owning table, still we are able to write the owner ID here, and now we can clearly say the pet 1 belongs to owner 1, pet 3 again belongs to owner 1, pet 2 and 4 belongs to owner 2. Yeah, and this is fine. Again in this table you don't say that you don't want duplicates, because duplicates are going to be there. Yeah, the multiple values are going to be there, like 2 is coming again, 1 is coming again, so something like this. So this was one to many and many to one mapping. In detail we have discussed in the specific video, and now let's move on to our next part, that is the most important, many to many mapping. So for this one the boy says that okay, I wish to become the co-owner for, let's say, the cat also. So now from the boy side again, if you see, this is one to many, so one owner is having many pets. Same way if the girl says that I wish to become the owner of this fish, so for her also it is again one to many mapping. But the point comes when you see it from the pet side. This time the cat is having two owners, so for the cat now it is two owners, that is multiple owners. Same way for the fish it is multiple owners, and hence we call it as many to many mapping, because whether you see from the owner side or whether you see from the pet side, we are having many to many relationship here. And again here we don't mean to say that okay, one owner can't have one pet. So there may be a situation that in this case also there exists an owner who is just having a single pet only, or there existing a pet something like this dog who is having just a single owner only. So that is also fine here, but this is going to be something which we need to make today. Now for this again our tables are going to look like this, but the point is where we will be keeping the data. We know that we can't keep in the owner table because then we need to use comma. Now again we can't keep in the pet table also, because cat is having two owners, so we need to give comma there, like 1,2. Fish was also having two owners, so we need to give 1,2, and we can't give comma in the table column there. Yeah, so for many to many mapping, what Hibernate does is Hibernate provides you with the third table, and this is something which Hibernate creates on its own. You don't need to worry about it. So Hibernate will make a table something like this. Generally the name of table comes from your first two tables only, so owner underscore pet underscore and then table. So here you can see we are having the owner ID and we are having the pet ID, and this is the data. So from this we can clearly see the owner 1 is having 3 pets, owner 2 is having 3 pets, pet ID 2 is having 2 owners, and pet ID 3 is also having 2 owners. So this is something which will be created in many to many mapping. So I hope this part is clear to you. If no, then you can just go back and watch the same thing again. If you wish you can increase the speed, if you wish you can decrease the speed also. Yeah, and now let's move on towards the second part. There are 3 more slides, but those slides I will be using when I will be coding in between. Yeah, now we will be directly moving the coding part, which is going to be the second part of this video. So let's move on there. So now let's start the second part of this video where we are going to code the particular requirement. Now we have started with the demo 12, and in this demo what I have done is I have just copied from the previous demo. As always wherever required we are going to code the thing, and wherever possible I will just show you that okay what are the changes. Yeah. So first of all, let's directly move on towards the entity class. So here I am. Now in the entity class, here you see that all other values are again same as it is, there is no change. And here also we have the list of pet, because one owner is going to have multiple pets. So this is the one. And on the pet, if I go, so in the pet also we need to have multiple owners. So this time in the pet also, I'm not only providing owner, I'm saying list of owner. So this is something which we have done today. So first of all, let's go to owner. And again, what I'm doing is that here it is bi-directional mapping. So from the owner also you can move towards pet, and from the pet also you can move towards the owner. If you don't want to make it a bi-directional mapping, then you just need to remove this particular part and your bi-directional mapping will be removed. So I'm just showing so that we don't need to have two videos again for this small thing. So first of all, let's go to owner this side, and obviously we need to have it the many to many mapping. So let me try to add this many to many mapping, and I'll just say here many to many. So let me, so if you just say control space, so it will show you this many to many, and here we are in the many to many mapping. And as always, instead of directly providing the values, let's see what are the values which we can actually provide here. So I'll go in this, and that's, you see the USP of our videos, that here I'm not only showing you what you need to provide, I'm showing you how you need to decide what you can provide, so that next time you don't need to again and again watch the video. If you are going to watch this with full concentration, then you will be able to understand most of the things. So now here the first thing is target entity. So target entity is pretty clear that we are going to target the pet, so we don't need to give anything for this. The next part is cascade. So cascade, the meaning I have already told you in advance in our previous videos, so again I'm not going to repeat. So, but what I'll do is I'll just copy this, I'll provide here, and if you wish you can tell me the meaning of cascade in the comments. Yeah, so that is something you can do while I'm writing this. And what should be the type we should be using? So let me again copy this, and you know that most of the times we are going with the cascade type as all. So now also let's go for this all only. Later on, I'm just giving you a hint, later on we will see whether this cascade type all is good or not for many to many scenario. Yeah. So as of now I'm not saying this is the best, because I'm saying that you need to watch the whole video. At the end I may change this code also. Yeah. But as of now I'm going with the easiest one, that is cascade type dot all. Now the next one is fetch. So fetch type by default it is lazy. So here also let's go for lazy only as the by default one. Why it is saying lazy? Because it may be a scenario that every time whenever you are going to fetch your owner, you don't want to fetch all the pets. Yeah. Otherwise, if one owner is having, let's say, 100 pets, all of the pets will come to you, and maybe you don't want to see all the pets at that point of time, you just want to see the owner details. So that's why it is by default lazy here. Now your job is to tell me in the comments what was the default fetch type for one-to-one mapping, one-to-many mapping, and many-to-one mapping in detail. So you can just provide in the comment section. The next type is mapped by. So this mapped by, if you remember, we used to write in the bi-directional side on the target side. So we are not going to provide it here, but instead we will be providing on the pet side. So let's make it on the pet side. So here I will say many to many, and in this many to many I will be just providing it as mapped by. So I will copy this mapped by, I'll provide it here, and in the brackets I will be saying, so this mapped by is going to copy this particular value pet list. So this way we are going to make it as bi-directional. So this side I am saying mapped by, and on this side I'm just using only one particular value, and then we don't have any other value. Now you will see that here we are not having the value as orphan removal. So in the previous annotations, if you remember, we used to have something like orphan removal. Here we don't have, we have only these many things. So we will see later on that what is the impact of not having orphan removal here. Yeah. So as of now, this is enough. Now the next part is that here we need to have one more annotation also, which we generally use. And in the previous annotations, like one to many and one to one, we used to have @join column. Now this time, it is not going to be a column, it is going to be a table, a new table completely. So here, instead of saying join column, we will be saying join table this time. So this is going to look something like this. So you will be saying here join table. Now don't say that why you said that Hibernate will create automatically. I mean, obviously you need to provide the annotations, then only Hibernate or JPA can make it for you. Now in this join table, if we go, so it looks like this. So first of all, it is going to be the table name. And it says if you are not going to provide any table name, it will automatically pick both the tables name, owner and pet, and concatenate them. But in our case, let's try to provide the same. So what I'll do is that I will be copy this name field. So I'll copy it from here, I'll provide it here, and here in the inverted commas, I'll say something like this. So I need to be very careful here, because if I'll make mistake in this part, then later on my things are not going to work, because I'm already having the database script with me. So I need to ensure that my names is perfect here. So I'm saying owner pet table. The next part is catalog or schema, and this we will go with the default schema, default catalog only, so we don't worry. The next part is join column. So this join column moves to your owning side. So in the join column, basically we need to provide the details of the owning side here. So let me just copy this. So I'm providing, and as of now, let me provide it in a separate line so that it is easier for you to understand. Later on, again, we are going to make it, or we are going to format this. And for this, the data type is going to be a join column, and it is going to be an array. Now since this is join column array, so we will be writing it like this. So we'll just say here @join column. So this is going to be my join column, and again in brackets of this we will be providing. So this join column is same which you used to discuss in one to one and one to many or many to one mapping. So in this join column, we used to have the name, and this name, if you remember, this used to be the name of this particular column, which you will be having in the owner pet table. So here we will say that our owning side is going to be owner. So the name of column is going to be owner ID. So here let's say owner underscore ID. So we are providing this. Then the next one is that which column you wish to refer. So let's see. So here it says which column you wish to refer now. So I'll say that I wish to refer the ID column. ID column of which table? The owner table. Yeah. Then next. So next we will say, do you want it to be unique? Now, although it is providing you the option of unique, but you know that we should not be having it as unique. So by default it is false, because there will be multiple owners, multiple owner IDs, or same owner ID will be repeated multiple times. So we don't want it to be unique, let it be false. Do you want it to be nullable? No, we don't want it to be nullable. So let's copy this, and here what I'm doing is I'm copying it and I'm making it false. So I don't want it to be nullable, so I'm making it as false. And then we don't need to provide this insertable, updatable, and all this. So we can go with the default values only. So we have completed this particular part also, and let's put a comma and let's go with the next part. So the next thing is we need to provide inverse join columns. So as of now, we have just provided the details of the owner side. Now we need to provide the details of the pet side also, and again the data type is going to be join column array only. So again we can write something similar. So join column, again and again I want to go to that particular class. So this time it is going to be the name of column, so I will say it as pet underscore ID. So this way you will be providing. Then the next thing we need to provide is the reference column name, and that is going to be ID only, but this is the ID in the pet table. So this we have provided, and this also we don't want unique, but we want it to be as nullable false. So I'm keeping it as nullable false, and this is something which you need to provide in your join table here. So now your annotation looks like this, and I can very easily remove this particular fix me. So that I have removed. So in the join table there will be three things: name, the name of your table; join column where you will be providing the owning entity details; inverse join column where you will be providing the non-owning entity details, something like this. Let's see, do we have anything extra? So this is foreign key, so we can go with the default inverse, we can go with the defaults. We don't want any these things as of now, so let's go for these things. And what I can do is I can simply say Control Shift O, Control Shift F, and I can format this. So at the end I am formatting, so now it is going to look like this to me. So this part is over. Coming on to the pet side. So pet side we just need this particular thing only, that is we just need to have a single many to many annotations, and we don't need to go for anything else as of now. So this one is going to be enough for us. Yeah. So let's close this, and the next part. So the next part is, let's have a look towards the DTO. So in the DTO also obviously we need to provide this list of pet DTO on both the sides, and I have updated my toString method accordingly. In the pet DTO also I'm providing list of the owner DTO, and I'm updating my toString method accordingly. So this is same. Config part is again same, there is no change. Enums are same, your exceptions are also same. I just added one more exception here, owner pet combination not found. So this is something which I have added here. And then you see we need to provide some of the changes in the repository, obviously service and those layers. So for this, as of now, let's directly move on towards our input util, and now let's start discussing all the cases one by one. So here in this video we are going to have 8 cases. If you are not interested in any one of the cases, so you can skip that particular part. Again and again I will come here, and from here only I will be starting the case. So case number 1 is to add the new owner. So let's go here first of all in demo. So this is our case 1 where we will be adding the new owner. So I just need to accept the details. This method is same like our previous videos. This method is also same. Then what I'm doing, I'm creating a list of pet DTO here. I'm adding the pet DTO to this list, and I'm setting the pet DTO list to the owner, and I'm invoking the save owner method. So let's go there. So this method looks like this. So first of all I need to convert the owner DTO to entity. So again this method is same. Now the thing is that the owner can have any number of pets. So each and every pet also you need to convert to the pet entity. So here we have again this particular method of converting pet DTO to entity. So this method looks here, and yeah, I hope this is a very simple method. Nothing much needs to be done in this one. So although one owner can have any number of pets, initially we are assuming one owner is having one pet only, because I need to provide that data from the keyboard. Yeah. If you wish, you can enhance the program so that in the initial part also you can have one owner with multiple pets. And then I just need to call this save owner method of my repository. So I'll go there, and you see it is directly just session begin transaction. I'm just persisting the owner. Since I have mentioned it as cascade type.all, so it is going to save your pet also, and you don't need to provide anything else for this particular part. So I hope this one is clear to you. Now moving on to the next part. So second one is fetch owner details. So when I say fetch owner details, so here we will see two parts. So I'll provide the owner ID, and let's see what it is going to be there. So this owner ID, when I'll provide, it will go to my repository, and in the repository you remember it is going to be lazy loading here. Since it is lazy loading, so only the owner is going to be available to you. So first of all we are checking if it is null, we'll throw the exception. If it is not null, we are converting the owner to the DTO without the pet information. So we are not setting pet because we know it is not going to be there for us. So again this is simple. The second part for this was owner with the pet, and again I have shown you this in detail in a one-to-one mapping and one-to-many mapping also. So that's why we can directly go to this logic. So the only changes which you need to do are in your this repository layer. And what we are doing is that after fetching the owner, we will again check for the null. It's always a good practice to check null here also. You will say that okay, already you are checking in the service layer, then why again here? Because there may be a chance that in between someone is going to delete your owner or something. Yeah, so it's always better. So here we are initializing the pet list, and that is enough. So now it is going to provide you the pets also along with the owner. Now the next part which you need to do is convert the owner entity to DTO, but this time also you need to convert the pets also. And when you are converting the pet entity to pet, so the only thing which you need to remember is don't convert the owner also. Otherwise it is going to end up in a loop, because every pet is going to refer owner, owner is going to refer the pet. So this is something which you need to take care here, that you remove the owner part from the pets. So second part is also clear. So I guess this is going to be easier then. So out of 8, 2 parts we have already done. Third one, update the pet details of the owner. So we just need 2 things here, or basically 3 things. The owner ID, we also need a pet ID, and we also need to go with the updated pet name. So we got all the 3 details. Then we'll go here, and here first of all we are getting find owner with pet. So we are getting the owner with pet here. Then if we are checking if owner is null or not, if it is null, throw the exception. Then you see whether you are getting the pet with this same ID in this pet list. If you are not getting the pet, throw pet not found exception. Yeah, so here only you throw. And if that is also found, then you just update the pet details. And this method was same like our one-to-many mapping. I'll just quickly go through it. So what I'm doing, I'm just again getting the owner here. First of all, I'm checking if it is not null. If it is not null, I'm iterating over the list. I'm making usage of the streams here. So I'm making usage of lambda and stream so that my code looks smaller. And if you don't know about this lambda and stream, then I will provide the link on the top somewhere here, so you can watch again those videos in detail. As a Java developer, you should be aware about all these Java 8 features like lambda, streams, and optional class. So these are very, very important. So we are using stream here. Then we are saying filter, and we are checking if the pet ID which we are getting from the list is same as the pet ID from the user. So if it is same, and we know only one pet is going to be there, so we are just saying find first. So if it is present, we are going to update the name only of the pet, and then we just need to say merge owner. So you don't need to say merge pet. If you will just say merge owner, it will save your pet also, because again we are using cascade type.all. So the moment you are going to update owner, it is going to update your pet also, and we'll just commit. So again this part is similar, simple. In the previous video, I guess I have done this in detail. I have coded each and every line also here. Now let's go on with the next part. So the next part is delete owner details. Now this is very important. So this time when we say delete owner details, I will be just providing the owner ID. So I'll delete the owner. So I'll go here, and again first of all I'll check whether the owner exists or not. I don't need to have the pet details this time, so I'm just saying find owner. If it is null, I'll throw the exception. Otherwise I will be invoking the repository method. You will say again this part is simple, let's skip this, but don't skip this. This is very important part for this particular video. Now here I haven't coded it deliberately, so I wish to write the logic again. So what should we do first of all? So we have already started the transaction. The only thing is we need to fetch the owner using owner ID. So let's fetch it, and I'll copy this. Yeah. So I'll provide it here. Then we are saying if check if it is null or not. So we will check it like this. So again we are just simply checking. We know that this time it is not going to be null. Yeah. And that's just remove the owner. So you will say that okay, owner can be removed very easily, and for this we just need to call this session.remove and owner. Yeah, so this is something which we have done here. Now you tell me, will this work or not? Just think once before, like if you wish you can pause the video, think once and then tell me, will this work or not? Yeah, the hint I can give you is that currently in this particular owner class we are having cascade type as all. So the moment you are going to delete your owner, it is also going to delete your pets also. Yeah, but the point is that pet can belong to some other owner also. So this time we need to take care of this. So if that pet is going to belong to some other owner, obviously you will be getting some exception. Let's try to understand this with the help of our presentation deck. So now again we are in our deck, and this time I'm just going to explain you the scenario. So let's say that your requirement is to delete this particular owner, and we are going to delete, so let's say this girl we wish to delete here. So first of all we will be deleting this. Now since we are going to have here cascade type dot all, so because of this it is going to delete the related pets also, because it was cascade type dot all. So that means it is going to remove the link with the parrot and delete parrot. It is going to remove the link with the fish and delete fish. It is going to remove the link with the cat and delete the cat also. Yeah, but don't you think so that in that case this boy is going to become angry here? Yeah, and not only boy, even our database is going to become angry, and we will be getting something like foreign key violation, because for the parrot we were not having any issue, but for the fish and for this particular cat we were having the issue, because they were not only the property of that particular girl but also for this boy, and hence there is the issue this time. So this is the reason that in many to many mapping we should never go for cascade type dot all. So this is something very important part. I hope you have seen the issue here. Yeah? Or if you wish, what you can do is just by writing this logic, you execute the code and then you try to delete the data. So you will obviously get this kind of exception in your console. Just in order to save time, I'm directly explaining you here. So that means we should be making some change, and we should not be using cascade type dot all here. So now let's again go back to our code. So now we are again in our code, and the only thing which we need to do this time is that we need to remove this cascade type dot all. So let's remove this cascade type dot all here. But if we are not going to provide this cascade type dot all, then what we should provide? So again let's go to this many to many. So here we were saying cascade type, and actually this is an array here. So if you wish, you can have multiple cascade values also. So we don't want to cascade all the operations, but what I wish is that whenever I save a pet, it should also save the, or when I save the owner, it should also save the pet for me. So in that case what I can do is I can just go for this persist. So I'll go here and I'll try to go for this value directly, cascade type dot persist. So that means that at least for the saving part it will save owner as well as pet. That is fine. The next time is regarding the update. So this is again your choice. Do you wish to update the pet also or not along with the owner? So in my scenario I wish that if I wish to update the name of the pet, I can directly do it from the owner side. So I will just merge the owner back, and that's why I will go for this merge also. But how to go for two values this time? So that you can do just by making it as an array. So you can write it like this. So array, you can put a comma, and here you can say cascade. So this cascade type, and then you can say merge. So this is something which you can write. So we are saying don't cascade all the operations, but at least cascade the save and the merge operations. Yeah. And if you will say, then what about your this particular one getting part? So fetching part will obviously work. There is no issue with your fetching part. That is going to work as it is. The only issue is with your save, update and delete. So we say don't delete both of them at the same time, but at least for the saving, the moment you save pet, save owner, save pet also. The moment you are going to save, update the owner, update pet also if required. Yeah. For delete, we wish to do it manually. So let's close these extra things and let's go back here. So now if we are going to do this manually, you will say that okay, then it means it is going to work fine. But that means that if you will just say remove owner, it is only going to remove the owner only. So you will say then okay, yes, our job is done. Let's see again with the help of deck, is our job done or not? So after updating our owner class, again we are in this particular deck, and this time the moment you are going to delete your owner. So it is just going to remove the owner and the links with the pets. So this link will be removed, this link will be removed, and this link will be removed. Now you say that okay, now our scenario is perfect. Now it is not deleting the cat and it is not deleting the fish. So this boy is not going to be angry and Hibernate is not going to be angry. But that is fine. The issue is that parrot is also not deleted here. Now since the parrot is also not deleted, the issue is that in our case, now there exists a pet who is not having any owner. So this parrot is not having any owner. It is an orphan pet. Then you will say that okay, orphan removal. So now you see that we were not having any option like orphan removal here. Because of this reason, this pet or this particular parrot is not going to be deleted automatically. And hence, we need to write such a code that the moment you are going to delete the owner, at that time before deleting owner, it should check whether the belonging pets have any other owner also or not. If the pet is having any another owner, then don't delete it. If the pet is having only this owner, that is the parrot was having only this girl as the owner, in that case only delete the pet. So I hope the scenario is clear. Let's try to code the same. So now we are saying that before removing the owner, or that is before deleting the owner, what we need to do is we need to go and check for each and every pet one by one. So let's get started. And obviously you need to do this. If you are saying we will be doing it manually, then this is something needs to be done. Otherwise you will be having some orphan pets, and in reality there will be a 2-lot orphan data with you. If you are fine with that, if your scenario permits with the orphan data, then no need to worry something like this. Otherwise you should be deleting it. So we are saying owner.get pet list, and then again let's go for this particular stream. And I have told you from where you can learn about these streams and all lambda. So we are saying this, and then we are going to filter. So we need to filter the scenario. Now we say that delete only those pets specifically who are not having any another owner. So we will be getting a pet from this, and every pet, you remember we used to have the owner list. So we will say this get owner. So we will say get owner list. So we say that if this pet is having only one owner, that is this owner only. Yeah. So if that is the case, then the size is going to be 1, if you remember. So here this particular size should be 1. So if our current owner is the only owner, so this size value is going to be 1. Yeah. And if that is the case, then we just need to remove or delete these pets only. So for this, what I can again do is I will just say here dot for each something like this, and I will say this pet, and then I will say here session dot remove, and then a bracket, and then I'll say pet. So I'm saying remove only those pets who are having only one owner, that is this owner, and at the end, yeah, this semicolon exists. So what I'll do is I will just select this and say Control Shift F. So now it looks something like this to me. So I'll just save it here, and it is, so Narlint says that okay, you can convert it to your reference. So what I'll do is I'll make it like this, session : remove. Again, if you wish to learn what is this, so you need to watch the lambda video. There I am explaining this, what is the meaning of this : and how you can actually write this if you don't have Sonarlint. So as of now, this is the scenario, the way how you can code the delete owner part. Yeah. So this we have again seen. Now let's move on with the next part. And with this, again we can say our 50% of the operations are done. So if you are finding that the video is helpful and you are learning something new here, so I hope that you don't need to waste any more time, and you can directly subscribe to the video. You can like the video, subscribe our channel, and also you need to comment so that YouTube knows this is a good video. The next part, let's go and see this fifth part. If you wish, you can take a break now and you can come back later and watch the part. Yeah. So the next part is fetch the pet details. So we'll again go here, and for this we just need a pet ID. So we'll go here in the pet, and I will go here and I'll just say find pet from the repository, and from the repository also, I guess it is not very difficult. I'm just getting. The only thing to remember, this is going to be lazy. So this time when you just say find pet, you are only getting the pet without any owner. So we are having this particular mapper method. It is simple, so I don't think so I need to show, or otherwise it looks something very simple like this. Yeah. The second is if you want the owner also with pet. So you want to pet, but again all the related owners also. So then you can again write it like this. And I hope if you are watching a video with full concentration, then you know what is the only small change which we need to do. We just need to say hibernate.initialize and get the owner list. And once you have done this, then you should be having the proper your this particular converter method which can convert your owners also accordingly. And while converting the owner, take care that you don't convert the pet again, otherwise you will end up in a loop. For every pet there will be multiple owners, for every owner there will be multiple pets, so it will end up in a loop. So you need to remove the pet from this particular owner part here. So this part was simple, I guess. Now let's go with the next one. So the next important part is we need to add the new pet. So owner is also there, it is existing owner, and we just need to add the pet. So for this we'll go here, and what we will do is we will get the owner ID for which we want to add a pet, and we will get the pet details in the pet detail. Then I'll directly go there, and I first of all check whether the owner exists or not. So I don't need to get the pet details, so this is fine. Then what I'll do is I will convert the pet DTO to the pet entity. So this one is again simple, I don't need to worry about the owner, so this part is same. I'll come back here and then I'll say add the pet. So I'll go here. So here also what I'm doing, I'm getting the owner and I'm checking if it is not null. If it is not null, get the pet list. So this I'm getting, and I'm just saying add pet. So I'm just adding the pet to the get pet list, and then saying merge owner. So the moment you are saying merge owner, so actually in the owner table you are updating it. So in the owner pet table you are updating, and in the pet table you are adding a new row. And since your cascade type is having cascade as persist, cascade as merge, so this is going to work fine for you. You don't need to explicitly save the pet. So this is again very important part. So this also we have done. Now let's move on to the seventh part. So the seventh part is remove pet details. So this time when it is remove pet details, and again see, I'm not saying delete pet details, because again you cannot delete the pet details, because maybe the pet is going to belong to some other owner also. You just want to remove the pet from this particular owner only. So for this, for part number 7, what we need, we just need the owner ID and the pet ID. Then we'll go here for this particular part. What we will do is we will get the owner and we will see whether the pet belongs to this or not. Otherwise, why to go till the repository? We can throw the error from here. So if the owner is null, we'll throw the exception. If pet doesn't belong to this owner, we'll throw the exception, something like this. That is owner pet combination not found. So this is something new exception I have created, owner pet combination not found. And in this particular messages.properties, I have added this. Pet with this ID doesn't belong to this particular owner. So this I have done. If everything is fine, then what we need to do is we need to remove the pet. So let's go there. Now what it says, fetch the owner and check null. Okay, so this is something which we can simply do like this. So I have done it here and I will write it like this. Then they say remove the pet from the pet list of the owner. So now what we need to do is we just need to check whether the pet actually belongs to this owner or not, and then we just need to remove it. So I can just say like this, owner dot get pet list. And here you remember in the last video also I have shown you that we can directly have this method as remove if. So you can say remove if, and then you can say pet, and then you can say this pet dot get ID. So here we are saying ID is equals to the given pet ID. So if this is the scenario, then you can remove the thing from this, and once you have removed it, the only thing which you need to do is you can say session dot, what we need to say, we just need to update this time. So we'll just say here owner. So after removing the pet from the owner, we are just updating the owner back, and you will say this is enough. But again, just have a look, is this enough? Now last time this was enough when we were doing one-to-many mapping and many-to-one mapping. This time it is not enough, and again for this I need to take you to the presentation, just one single slide. So again we are here, and let's see that why only or directly removing the pet from the owner, why is it not enough? So this time let's say the requirement is to remove the cat from this particular boy. So what we will do, we are just saying remove. So whether if this cat ID matches to the pet list of this owner or this boy, we are going to remove it. So we will remove this, yeah, and the cat is still there, and we should not be deleting the cat. Why we should not be deleting the cat? Because it depends or it belongs to this girl also. We were not having orphan removal, so it is going to be fine for us. Then let's say we want to remove this dog also. So we'll again just remove it. And now is the issue. Since orphan removal is not there, so again we end up in a scenario where we have a pet who is not having any owner this time. And this is the issue. So we need to identify such pets who will not have any owner or who will become orphan after we remove this relation between owner and pet. And such pets we need to delete also. So you don't need to delete always, but you only need to delete such pets who are not going to have any owner here. So that is something which we need to do in our code this time. So let's go back in the code and update the same. So now we are back in our code, and let's update this. So again, what we will do is, first of all, for this owner, we will be getting all the pets. So we'll say this something like this, get pet list. Then I will be saying a stream over this, so this also have saying, and then I will be first of all finding for this particular pet only. I mean, why to again check the owners for all the pets? I just want to see the owner list for this pet only. So first of all, let's filter this. So I'm saying like this pet, and then I'm saying that this get ID. So this is the ID equals to this particular get ID. So now I will be getting only this particular pet. Now the next requirement for this particular pet is that I wish to check if there is any other owner also or not. If there is no other owner, remove the pet also. So this one again is going to be easier for us. You have already seen it in the last part also. What we will do is we will get the owner list for this, and we will be just checking the size. So currently the pet belongs to this owner. So that means if the size is 1, then what we need to do is we will just say for each, and then what we are going to do is we are going to say session dot remove, and we are just going to remove the pet from here. And what you can do is you can just say here Control Shift F. So now this is going to look like this, and you can just save your code. And here if you say, you can again change it to method reference, so it looks like this. So first we are filtering only for this pet. Why to check the owner list for all the pets when you just want to remove this? Once you have got it, then you are saying check the owner list. If there is only one owner for this pet, that is the current owner only, then only delete the pet completely. Otherwise just remove the relation. So first we are deleting, and then we are removing the relation, and again this is going to be fine. And you see, after this we are just not saving, we are saving the complete thing here. So that's why we won't get any kind of error, because we are committing only once at the end. You may feel that okay, since you have removed the pet from here itself, how will it find the details here, and why won't it give any error? Because we are committing only once at the end, not again and again in between. So that's the power of your transactions, that your transaction started here and it is here. So all these operations will go in the one single go. So this part is also completed for us, and that was again important part. Now let's move on towards the last part, and this last part is going to be something interesting, and this is something new, because now we just need to add a co-owner. So the scenario is owner already exists. So let's say there is an owner, and the owner can be anyone. Then there exists a pet also for this owner. Now what we want is we need to add a new owner. Now we will be adding a new owner, and we will say that we will directly make this owner as the co-owner of the existing pet only. So we'll just provide the owner details and the pet ID for whom we want to relate this. So let's go here. So what I just need the owner details and I just need the pet ID. I'm not getting the pet details. So this time I'm actually trying to add the owner without a pet in the starting. So I'm not getting pet DTO. So initially this owner doesn't have any pet. We are just going to make it a co-owner. So, or like in the normal terms, we can say something like a co-founder. So here we are having a co-owner for us. So what does this co-owner say? So here we just need to update our service IMPL also. So let's see what is the requirement. First of all, we need to check whether the pet ID exists or not. So if we want to check whether the pet ID exists or not, what we can do is we can take help of our this service IMPL, something like this, and I will be checking like this. Yeah, so I can check it this particular one. I don't need the owner details, so I will be just providing it like this. Or if you wish, you can directly refer to that method also, but I don't want any conversion to radio, so hence I'm directly taking the help of the repository. Now it says pet repository not found, so let me just add the pet repository on top and I will add it here. So I will say private and I will say pet repository, something like this, and I will just write it like this. So this is my pet repository I have added. So it says fetch pet ID by invoking the find pet. So this is we have done. Then it says if pet is not available, throw the exception. So yeah, we are throwing the right exception. This also we are done. Then it says else convert the owner DTO to this. So now it is the time to convert the owner DTO. So let's try to convert the owner DTO, and for this we need to invoke the particular method from the mapper util. So let's see if we have that. I mean, that is the point we are becoming lazy here. So let's see if we can copy. Yeah, I guess we can copy this. So this will do the job for me. So I'll go here and I'll paste it like this. Yeah, let's see will it work for us. So we'll go here and owner DTO we are having, so everything is there, and it says owner DTO got get pet DTO list. So the owner is not having any pet, so this is going to provide me null pointer exception here because pet DTO list is not there, so it is null, so it will throw the null pointer exception for this. So what I want is I want to convert owner DTO to owner but without setting any pet list. So that's why I have created this particular specific method without pet. I hope this thing is clear to you. So let's convert it like this. So that also I have done it here. So this part also completed, and now the rest of the things are we just need to invoke the method of the owner repository. So let's say owner repository here and say add co-owner, and we will be providing the details, and we can remove this to do. So this part is done. Now let's move on towards owner repository IMPL. So I'll go to this particular class. So here also I'm having some hints for me. So first of all, again it says that fetch the pet. So why I'm again fetching and doing this? Like many of you said, why don't you directly do the things in the repository? That is going to be the best practice, or that is going to be the good practice. So the answer is yes, we can do so, but I just want to show you the code, like how the different options are there, and the moment you wish to enhance that, you can do on your own also. So this is done, and let's get the things for us. So we will be doing this, so let me copy it from here. So what I can do is I'll get this particular one, so that will look nice for our case. So I'll go back to this owner repository and I right click like this. So I hope this is fine. We are getting the pet ID and we are checking the null, so that is good for us. Now what I want to do is add the pet to the pet list of the owner. So the owner, if you remember, why we were creating owner with the empty list, so that we don't need to create the list again now. So what I'll do is for this particular owner, I'll say as get pet list. So I will be getting the pet list, and what I'll do is I'll just add the pet here. So I will add the pet directly in this particular part. So I'm getting this particular pet here. Now once I have got the pet, now I just want to save the owner. So I will just say here session dot persist, because I want to save and not the pet, but I wish to save the owner. So I just need to do something like this, and it is going to save the owner for me, and automatically it is going to make it as the co-owner. So this is something which will be done here. And let's go back. So yeah, all our 8 parts are done. So that is the end of part 2 of this video. If you feel there is too much for the day, you can just pause the video, you can come back tomorrow and you can watch the next part. If you are still motivated and you want to see that whether our code is going to work fine or not, then let's get started. So what I'll do is I'll close all these things first of all, and I'll go here. So the very first thing which we need to do is that there should not be anything in our database, and this is data.sql. So first of all, let's open this particular one. So open with this text editor. So this is our script which I will be running, and before this let me run the code and see whether it works or not. What do you think? Will it work or not? So here it says yeah, all the things are done. And see the interesting part. First of all, it created owner pet table. So there was no entity class as such for this, but it got created. Owner ID, integer, not null, pet ID, just with the 2 columns. Then there was this particular owner table. You can see the complete details when you will be running this particular thing. So it looks something like this. Then we have this particular pet table also. And what I have basically done is same thing I have copied here also. So just for your reference, like if you sometimes feels lazy enough like me not to execute the code and you just want to see how it looks like, so it is the same thing. So whatever is mentioned here, like they are writing it like this alter table, I'm directly providing the foreign key here. So that's the same thing. This is how it is going to look like for you. So this is the one. So everything is created, all the 8 options are ready, and we need the data also. So this is the data. So here we are having the owner table first of all. So in the owner table, first of all, we will be adding the 72 owners. Then in the pet table, we will be adding the 72 pets. And now in order to have many to many relation, I have added something like this data. This is our third table, owner pet table. So too much amount of data has been added here. Yeah. So let's go to our MySQL. So things are here. Let me just refresh this. So this is there, and initially let's see whether there is any data or not. So initially it is empty as always. So I have copied the same script here. So I'll select this and execute. So it will add all the things for me. Let's verify. So this is owner table, and you can see that all these 72 owners have been added. This is my pet table, and you can see all these 72 pets have been added. So in the pet there is no owner ID, in the owner table there is no pet ID directly. Then we are having this owner pet table, and select this. So only owner ID and pet ID is there, and this is the relation. So it is something the way it is adding. So first of all, with owner 1 it is adding so many pets, with owner 2 so many pets. So there are some owners with a single pet, some owners with multiple pets, some owners are having something like 6 to 7 pets also, some owners are having just a single pet. So I have provided the data in this particular way. Let's go back to our code and see whether the things are working or not for us. So let's start adding the details. First of all, we'll add the new owner here. That's the easiest part. So what I'll do is I'll say 1 and provide the name. So I'll just say this first, then I'll say last, and then I'll say M, then I'll say city for this, then I'll say state for this. I mean, you will say that you should be providing values, why you are just saying things. So I'm little easy here. So phone number 98 this, and I'm not sure whether I will be this way. If I will provide any mobile number, I may end up in something, and as of now we are not checking whether all are digits or not. So let me take advantage of it and say MOV1, although we should check this also. We will create a separate video with all the validations. Yeah, and here let's call it as mail1, then let's call it as pet, then give the date of birth as something like this 2020, and gender is male, and let's make a cat. So what it did, it just created 3 entries: insert into the owner table, insert into the pet table, and also insert into the owner pet table. Let's verify the data here. So we'll go to this one and so currently there was 72, so 73rd owner should be added here. So you see this is the data. So all the data has been added carefully here. Then this is the pet. So let me just again select this, and you see the pet details have been added. So this pet and this, and in the owner pet table, so obviously it will be adding, and there is no primary key as such for this particular table because you don't need that one. It is just a kind of a complete collection here. So this 73 pet, 73 is the pet ID and 73 is the owner ID. So that works for us. Now the next one. So the next one comes up is fetch owner details, and 2 operations will be executed. So I'll just say 2 here. Yeah. Instead of running the current one only, let me run some other one so that I can show you a owner with multiple pets also. Otherwise only one pet will come for this owner, and let me provide something, let's say 1. So you see that first of all, since it is lazy loading, so only the owner table got executed and we just got the owner details. So there is no pet details as of now with us. Second time, since it was lazy loading, that's why we need 2 queries here. If you make it eager loading, it can do the job in a single query only. Otherwise 2 queries will be required. And you see the owner details are there. So it is something like this. And then there is a pet detail list. So all the pets are there. So this is pet detail ID 1, ID 11, ID 21. So this owner is having so many pets. If you wish, you can verify it with the database. So this is also done. 2 operations are done out of 8. Everything looks good. The next one, update the pet details of the owner. So let's update. Yeah. So ID of the owner, I'll provide the same. Pet ID, let me copy something from this. So currently the owner with ID 11. So pet ID 11 name was Ginger. So we'll update this. So this is 11, and here instead of Ginger I will say something like this, a big name. So again this is working fine. Why so many queries? Because these 2 level of queries executed in the service layer, and these queries executed in the repository layer. So this is the one. Now you may have a question, what if the other owner, if there exists one more owner for this ID 11, what if that person has issue? Then they need to discuss first. Our code is not going to take care of it. So our code will consider that if you want to update the name of this ID 11, the pet ID 11, then it will be updated for both the owners. Yeah. So this is something there. Next one. So the next one is delete owner details. This is most important one, and we'll run 2 runs for this particular one. First one, what we will do is that, let me click this as 4. ID of the owner, let's say 1 only. Yeah, we wish to delete this owner. So when I say this ID as 1, so this is a particular line which was executed in my service layer, the first line. Then this is the line which was executed in my this particular repository layer. It fetched the owner. Then you said that okay, fetch all the pets also. Yeah, and then it is running so many queries because for each and every pet we are checking whether it belongs to only this owner or any other owner also. So we found that there was a pet who belongs to this owner only. Let's check out here. So as of now I have not refreshed this, so it will look as it is. So what I did, I deleted owner 1, and this pet ID 1 used to belong to this owner only. So that means pet ID 1 should be deleted. All other pets should not be deleted. Why? Because this ID 11, that is pet ID 11, also belongs to owner 11. So now if I refresh, so owner 1 has been deleted. So that has been deleted completely. And if I go here, so you see that owner ID 1 has been deleted. If I go here, so you will see only pet 1 has been deleted. Pet ID 11 is there. Pet ID 21 is also there, 31 is also there, 41 is also there. So all other pets are still there because of our logic. So that is the way here. Yeah. Now let's move on with the next part here. So I'll again say continue, and the next part is delete is done. So now it says fetch the pet details. So I'll just say 5, and the pet ID, let's give it as 2. So I'll just say like this, pet ID 2. So initially only the pet it is because it is lazy loading, and then we are fetching the owner also. So here you can see it is fetching all the owners for this pet, owner ID 2, and then all these details. Okay, so only one owner was there for this pet. So that is the way. That was just a luck. Next, so we say add a new pet. So let's add for this owner only. So I'll again do for this. So for this I'll say, and we will say add a new pet. So for which owner we should be adding? Owner should be existing first of all. So I'll just give the owner ID as 2. Let's see how many pets this owner is having currently. So owner ID 2, if we say, so pet ID 2 is having only one owner, but owner ID is 2 having so many pets, 32, or this 2, 12, 22, 32, 42, 52, 62, 72. So almost 8 pets are there with this particular owner, and this is coming on the top. Now you see the issue. So we will add a new pet. So let's give it as pet new, something like this. Date of birth is, let's say, this is the easiest to type. Then I'll say female this time, and let's say a dog. Yeah. So now carefully see what it did. So first of all, when we are saying this, we need to verify whether owner exists or not. So service layer 1 got executed. Then this is in the repository layer got executed. Now what it did is that it added the new pet into the table. So that was done. But also what it is doing, first of all, it is deleting all the pets from the owner pet table, or all the relations from the owner pet table, and again inserting. And that is the issue here, guys. So issue you are getting, I just want to add a single pet, but what it did, it first of all deleted all the relations between this owner and all its pets, and then again reinserted them. How many reinsertions? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 8 pets were already there. So these many 8 pets were already there. So they were also reinserted again, and this new pet also reinserted again. And proof is here. So earlier it was ID2 was on top. Now if I re-execute, ID2 is not on top, because from there it deleted and then it reinserted at the bottom. So this is such a kind of a behavior. Now you will say, okay, it is fine, but the issue is this is not fine. Why this? And it is only doing it from here. Here it is not going to make any change, like it will delete. So only in this owner pet table. Yeah. Now this is the issue here. And in order to resolve the issue, what we need to do is that, first of all, why this issue came? The issue came because here you were making usage of list. So strangely, that is the reason. So if you are going for one to many mapping or many to one mapping, at that time list is fine. But whenever you go for many to many mapping, always make a practice to go for set. And the magic you will see here. So you just go for the set. So we'll just say like this, and here also what I'll do is I will say here hash set. So something like this. So I need to remove it here. Yeah. So I will be writing it like this. So you just need to make it a set. You will say that, okay, you should rename this. So as of now we are fine with this. I hope there is no issue in the name of the variable, but we have made it set. Also, so this part is important in order to resolve the issue. And why is it giving me the error? Because on the getter setter methods also I need to make it a set. So here also let me make a set. Here also let me make a set. So something like this I have done here. And on the top it is showing me some unwanted import. So let's say Control Shift O. So this is done. So this is important. And another part which, if you wish, like it's a good practice, since you are making change there, so you should change here also. So here also let's make it as a hash set. So Control Shift O here. So this is done again for us, and what I will be doing is again I'll copy it and I will update it here. So instead of list, I should be using set on both the sides, and this is going to resolve the issue. It is showing some exception or some error in this. The issue is that, okay, it is not able to convert it to a list because it's a set. So let's make it like this, and here also I'll just update it here, Control Shift O, and this is done. So that's the only change, I guess. Nowhere else you need to do. So in DTO, if you wish, you can still keep it as a list. That's not an issue. But in the entity, you need to make it as a set. So this you need to do. Now let's re-execute. And problem you understood that for this one, since we were already doing it for one pet only, we were just reinserting one pet, but all the pets got reinserted. So let's execute it again. So I'll do this. This time we will do it for this pet or the owner ID 3. So for this owner ID 3, we will try to add more pets. So initially you see it is on top, and for this owner currently there is 3, 13, 23. So we can say 6 and 7 pets are there. So let's see whether things are going to work or not. So I'll say 6 here, owner ID 3, and let's give a new pet here. So pet new 2. So this way I wish to write it, 11, 11 and 20, 20, and I'll say male, and I'll say cat this time. And this, you see, this line got executed in the service layer, these two lines in the repository layer. So it just inserted a pet in the pet table and just one single insertion in your owner pet table. So no multiple insertions, no deletions. Proof is in your tables also. So if you refresh, so owner ID 3 is on top with all these details, and the new pet relation has been added at the end. So that is something very important which you need to remember while doing many to many mapping here. Yeah. So always go for the sets, not the list. The next one, let's just complete these two more. So we'll say 7. Now there is no issue with the other two. Yeah, these you can do very easily. I just want to show. So for the owner ID, let's say something like I can go for 11, and let's say the pet ID I wish to remove is 21. So this one is simple. Yeah. So this 21 belongs to other owners also. So only it got removed from the owner pet table, not directly. Yeah. And let's say add the co-owner. So just for the showing purpose, let me quickly showcase this also. So I'll say here first 2, I'll say here last 2, I'll say here M, I'll say here city or something like 2, state 2, and I'll say here mob 2, I say here mail 2, I say here which pet ID do you wish to delete or you wish to make a co-owner. So for this 31, so it says find pet because this pet repository is null. So where is this pet repository null? We just need to verify. So I guess we made a mistake somewhere for this. So let's go back here, and here we are. Okay, so we forgot to add the details here. So that's a silly mistake which we did. So you saw that everything was looking good, but yeah, we made a mistake. That's not an issue. Why didn't created issue for the others? Because we were using it here only. So this was the only place where we were using it. So that's why I say that always you need to execute all your options. Otherwise there can be an issue like this. Yeah. So that was the issue. It was simple one because this one is null. So let's execute it again. At least we got something or some issue. So let's say 8 again. Let's again try to add. So first 2, let's say last 2, let's say M, let's say city2, let's say state2, let's say mob2, let's say mail2, and ID 31. And yeah, this time we were able to add. So we just added something in the owner table and the relation in the owner pet table. Yeah. So with this, we are ending up this particular video, and we have covered all the scenarios. I hope you have watched the video completely. You found what are the changes we made at the end. Those changes are very important. Otherwise, you know that we were able to make many in the starting itself. But then in order to enhance our code, we need to have some of the enhancements also. So I hope if you enjoyed this video, then you are going to like the video, you are going to subscribe to the channel, and you will share and you will comment also in the comment section. In the next part, we are going to bring again something new related with this Hibernate series. Thanks everyone.